Now let's shift our attention to Yemen, a country ravaged by a civil war. India is facing a diplomatic crisis there. An Indian nurse is on the death row in Yemen. Her name is Nimisha Priya. She hails from the southern state of Kerala. In 2017, Nimisha Priya was imprisoned for the murder of a Yemeni citizen. 3 years later, in 2020, she was found guilty and sentenced to death, and now she has exhausted all legal avenues. Her appeals have been rejected by Yemen's president, Rashad al-Alimi. She could be executed in a month. Indian authorities find themselves in a race against time now. Can they save Nimisha Priya? Does she still have any options left? Our next report tells you.
The year was 2014. Nimisha Priya, an Indian nurse in Yemen, dreamed of a fresh start. She had spent 6 years in the country, working in Yemen's hospitals all those years to support her parents back in Kerala. They were daily wage labourers and they depended on their daughter's earnings in Yemen. Starting her own clinic would have helped the family, but instead it became their worst nightmare. Priya couldn't set up the clinic alone. She joined hands with Talal Abdo Mehdi, a local Yemeni citizen. Mehdi became Priya's business partner in the clinic, but their partnership soured quickly. Priya accused Mehdi of embezzling funds and torture. She claims Mehdi held her at gunpoint several times. He even took her passport, leaving her stranded in Yemen. Trapped in Yemen, Priya took a drastic step. She injected Mehdi with sedatives, hoping to retrieve her passport. But the plan went horribly wrong. An overdose ended up killing Mehdi. Priya was imprisoned in 2017 and sentenced to death in 2020. She appealed against the decision only to be turned down. This week, Yemen's President Rashad al-Alimi approved the death sentence. Nimisha Priya could now be executed in a month's time. Her only option is a payoff. The death penalty can be waived only if Mehdi's family agrees to pardon her. In exchange, they'll receive blood money as compensation. Priya's mother has been in Yemen negotiating the waiver of the death sentence with Mehdi's family. She's received financial assistance from social workers, and the Indian government too is doing its bit. But operating in Yemen is anything but easy. The civil war has left the country and its justice system fractured. There are no clear lines of authority. Negotiating the payoff has been difficult. The Indian embassy in Yemen engaged a lawyer for the case. He demanded a fee of about $40,000. So far, only half that amount has been paid. But the lawyer wants the entire payment up front for the negotiations to continue. The situation highlights the current state of affairs in Yemen. It wasn't always this way. India and Yemen share a deep historical and cultural relationship. The ties date back several centuries. India was an early supporter of Yemen's independence from the British. But when the civil war broke out in 2015, everything changed. India imposed a travel ban on Yemen and launched a massive evacuation mission. Over 4,000 Indians were rescued, most of them were nurses. Since then, the civil war has cast a shadow on this relationship. The conflict is now escalating. With Israel ramping up its attacks on the Houthis, this expanding war adds new obstacles in securing the release of Nimisha Priya.